would you just look at it? For the first time in months, every time I look at this car, I smile. And that's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling to not be like, man, this car is such a piece all the time. I'm super happy with it, and I'm super happy that you guys liked it too, because the video response was just unreal. You guys were so happy, and I was worried the yellow might be a lot, but like I was happy about it, but you guys were like, yo, I don't know about yellow, and then as it kind of progressed, you were like, yeah, yellow's a good choice, so thank you guys for that. I also wanted to say thank you for everybody that supported us on the merch drop on Monday. We absolutely killed it. We sold out of sweaters in like 15 minutes. I have never had such a successful merch drop in my life. This was the first one that was like the magnitude of it. Like I had the most orders, the most stuff go out, and sold out the fastest this drop. So I just really want to say thank you to you guys. I'm going to be restocking these sweaters because they sold out really fast. I know a lot of you guys wanted them and didn't get them. So we'll probably do that within the next month or so. We may even add a color or two. So let me know up here what color out of those three you guys would like to see most, because I kind of want to add one more color to the embroidered hoodies section. I don't know. So the real question is, should I sit here today and just film the car, or should we do something? Because honestly, I could probably just watch a 10-minute video of just this. This is nice. I mean, I probably have to add some music because I think 10 minutes of the car would get a little bit boring. But also, speaking of music, have you guys noticed in the background, I don't know how much you guys pay attention to the background of the videos, I've always had this big ass speaker here, but recently I added this little speaker here. I don't know if that's something you guys noticed, but this thing definitely worth showing you. Reason being, this little speaker took over my entire big speaker. I know this isn't the biggest speaker in the world, but it's at least twice as loud as this one gets. Like, I straight up twice as loud. The bass sounds just as good. This thing is unreal. So this is the Cove Commuter, and I actually picked this thing up because it's Bluetooth, which is obviously what you want, but it's also wireless. So this thing can hold a charge for 8 hours long. I literally have to plug this thing in for a couple hours. It goes up to 8 hours on one single charge. To me personally, the thing that trumps all other features with this speaker, when someone calls you on Bluetooth, you can answer with this thing. The worst thing in the world is when I'm in the garage, my hands are covered in oil, covered in grease, and I have no idea where my phone is, but it's ringing. With this thing, I can answer the phone right on this. I can talk to them, there's a mic on it. I can literally have a conversation through this speaker. And honestly, for the price you're paying for this guy, you literally can't lose. So right now, you guys can get an awesome deal on this thing. You can get this thing for 65% off. There's a link in the description down below. Go down there, click it, use the code RF65, and you guys can save yourself 65% off this Cove Commuter speaker. So huge thank you to Cove Audio for sponsoring today's video. Like I said, go in the description below, check them out, and use the code RF65 and save yourself 65% off a new speaker. Anyways, something that this car is so really missing, these little Canards. In my opinion, these things absolutely make the entire look of the car. The only problem is when I had to cut the bumper and like reshape it because it wasn't really fitting right, these things lost their shape. So you can see right here, they fit all along the bumper, but then as you get up close, they gap out pretty bad. So like that gap down there, it should be like touching the bumper, but it's not. So essentially what I think I have to do for these guys is kind of the same thing I did with the bumper. I'm gonna have to take it, like cut it right here and kind of just like bend it in a little bit so that this angle becomes a little sharper and it matches the new shape of the bumper that I made. But I've always seen this car with those Canards and I absolutely love them. Like, I don't know why, but Canards to me are something that are very, very sick with body kits. If they accent it properly, they're unreal. So don't get me wrong, this thing looks so good right now, but just imagine it with the Canards. It would look so much better. But yeah, when I bought the fiberglass repair stuff, I should still have a decent, yeah, that should be enough to repair these at least. I definitely want the Canards in the car. So today might be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but we're gonna figure it out. I lined up this and then this touched the body all the way till here. So I marked it right here just with a marker where it kind of separates from the body, and then this part is close. It's within a centimeter of touching, it just doesn't. I know there's probably people out there that would just run it without it touching because it's pretty close, but like I feel like we spend too much time on this kit to not have it look perfect. Or as close to perfect as it's gonna get. So best case, this works, and we get the Canard on. Worst case, we completely pooch the Canard and we have to make our own, or we don't run one or something. Okay, honestly, I still don't know if cutting this was like the best idea, because now it's super flimsy and almost impossible to work with. But when I put it up there, it does close the gap. It sits on there properly. And then I also just taped up this so I don't scratch this. But I think what honestly might be the best way to go about this is to put this on, like put a couple bolts in it, and then do the fiberglass. That way it's exactly where I want it. It sits perfectly flush, because like my worry is, if you look at this line here, how it goes up and down, like if you were to mount this and then it just goes like that even, just a little bit, And then when I put it back, this might not sit flat at the bottom, this might not sit flat at the top. Could be a slight pain. If I'm gonna do that, what I wanna do first is I wanna deal with how this bends up. It's not really supposed to, but if you guys can see, it kinda just flicks up just a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to get it perfect. It might just be a flaw of this kit, but if I can push it down with my hands and it kinda moves. So I'm thinking if I install a couple splitter rods right here, it should be able to just kind of hold it down. Essentially exactly what this one's doing. So if you guys remember when I installed this one, I literally put these splitter rods here because the way the bumper curved, this thing flicked up, and I wasn't a huge fan of the way it was kind of bent up. So these are literally here just to push this down. But the unfortunate part about that is these aren't the only ones I have. So I've been waiting because I know I'm gonna take this bumper off anyways, hopefully in the next couple weeks, but I might have to rob the splitter rods prematurely. Honestly, you know what, before anything, I hope these are long enough. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Having air suspension of any kind, 10 out of 10 recommended. Anytime I need to take the bumper off, I don't even have to jack it up anymore. I literally just air up the front and we're gold. Also, thank God that the hardware for this is small because I accidentally drilled it up right underneath the cage on both sides. I honestly didn't even think about the cage being there. So thankfully it's just on the edge and the hardware is tiny. I could probably make it fit. Tiny little 7mm. Ooh, dude, I think that's it. I think that's perfect. All right, so now that these are on, we gotta do the scary part. This is like the you really gotta trust yourself kind of thing. And even someone like me who really trusts themselves, like, I'm nervous. Because my game plan stays the same. Like, the only way to really get a true fitment on this, the exact way I want it to be, is to mount it first. And that's sketchy. Because if you fuck it up, you've drilled into the bumper and now what? But I think I'm about to just send it. Ooh, but before we get that, I think I just heard something good show up. These are some good boxes. Something I hate about this house, just the angle of where the sun comes. Cause like this, not good for filming. You guys know there's no way I'm not opening this box. This is one of the last things the Civic is waiting for right now. I hope these look as fire as I imagine them being. Oh wow, man, I opened it upside down. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh, yo, those are gonna be so hot, dude. Oh man. Yo, I'm even wearing the Oddhon shirt today. Shout out to my boys at Oddhon for hooking us up with another set of wheels. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Civic to have nice wheels. Don't expect to see them on for about a week or two though, because I need to test fit them and I need to find out what size tire I wanna run. It's a really hit or miss. I wanna go like pretty beefy with the tire, but I don't know exactly how they're gonna fit with the body kit. It's there's not a whole lot of these body kits out there, so it's kind of hard to find exactly what I'm looking for. But nonetheless, we're one step closer. Anyways, I believe we were just about to start sending it with this thing. Well, now that I got it on, I'm gonna take it back off. I mainly just cranked it all down to make sure it would fit. What a brilliant idea that was. I have no idea if this is like something people are gonna yell at me for or something people are gonna be like, hey man, good idea. I'm just gonna cover everything because it's all fresh and brand new with a garbage bag, and then I'm just gonna fiberglass over it because just like the bumper, I wanna fiberglass it in place to make sure that it's exactly the right shape. I'm just gonna take this bag, slink it into my working area. I'm honestly more worried about the bottom because the fiberglass will drip down. Kind of have it look something like this. So this is all bolted back up. This is good and tight. So it's just about kind of keeping it from dripping onto the dip, and then if it hardens, I would literally ruin the brand new dip trying to get it off. Now I'm just gonna come over here, back up this side, like this, and dude, I think it's time to start. I don't really remember the mixture amount for this. I think it was something like that much. And then just like a lot of drops, right? You want to have the most possible drop. Definitely darker than it was last time, so I'm assuming that means we have less time to work with.
One thing I did do, and I'm aware I did it right away, was I got a little carried away and I accidentally went right over one of the bolts. So the bolt that was going to hold the bumper to, the bolt that holds this to the car, it's completely behind fiberglass, so I'm just gonna probably drill it out. But I was going and I was like, I covered it and then I was like, I don't have time to take this off because I knew I put too much hardener in there, so see what happens.
It's been about an hour and a half.
Canada Post just came picked up all your orders, so all your orders are officially out on their way.
It has been definitely long enough because this stuff, it's extremely hard.
Back these bolts out one more time. This is our new Canard shape. This is dope. It works, it looks nice. I'm very happy with it. It has a kind of slight weird little bend going on, but that's because when it's on the car, it's kind of got a tweak to it. It's got like a pressure right there, so it won't look terrible. You know what, to be honest, I miss the days before I used Bondo all the time. Like before I even knew how to use Bondo. Those were the good old days. Bondo's getting a little too close to me. I might have to start pushing him away a little bit. We were friends at first, but then Bondo just got kind of annoying. It started bugging me all the time. I always wanted to hang out. I don't know, I feel like we kind of grew apart, me and Bondo.
When this one's empty, I'd kind of like to not get another one for a while, you know? I'm gonna hit this with some quick Bondo.
And you know what, the second one?
I think I'm gonna do it on the car. I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place. Like, it's already set up to go.
I won't be able to get the back perfectly, but I can definitely fill this gap way easier. Look at that. Dude, taking it off was the dumbest move I've made today.
At least 3 hours of me sanding and bondoing because of what I did to try and flatten this was I just bondoed the whole thing. Because this was like, it looked like this, right? You can see the fiberglass, it was kind of disgusting. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they did. So I sanded it all down, put Bondo there, put spot putty, like I did a couple layers of everything on both spots. I think it's good. Oh, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Oh man, that's not how I wanted to end tonight.
So I played myself big time when we left Brad's. I put a black lid on this gray primer, but it's a black can for gray primer. And this whole time I thought that that's what I was gonna use. It's like full. I kept picking it up. I'm like, okay, good, we're good. So I have no more black paint. I had literally just a spray. So close. Okay, I picked up some more semi-gloss paint for that. And I just looked at these and realized this morning you can see this thing. Yesterday you couldn't see this at all, which is a huge bummer. So I'm gonna try and spot putty this one more time, just cause like no one wants to see that, you know? So these guys are pretty much dry now. Actually, not pretty much, they are dry now. Because this took 2 days, I literally just let this sit in there for most of today and dry. It isn't 100% perfect. I sanded this spot in the middle like 100,000 times, and you can still see it a little bit. It's like I wouldn't be happy if I bought it like this, but because I bought it like a complete turd and made it look like this, it's all right. And especially for the sides, dude, the sides turned out so good. Like they're nice and flat and glossy and I was also test fitting the wheels this morning. That's what all this stuff is. Dude, these wheels are gonna be mint. They're gonna need a spacer, just a small spacer, and I kind of thought they would because basically what I did was I ordered the exact same sizing as I have now. Well, these are 15s, I got 16s, but I got them with the same offset. So you can see like the front Could use just a little bit of a spacer. The rear is a big time no-show. Like it doesn't look bad usually in the videos and photos I show you guys, because when you see it from the side, you don't really notice. It came with some new hardware and stuff. They're gonna be so dope. You guys are gonna absolutely love them. They will 100% tie this whole car together, and they're not something I would normally do. Like the color isn't a color I would normally do. I think you guys are gonna like it. Clean this up a little bit. I'll also go ahead and peel this tape. I literally just put this here because every time I was putting this thing on and off, I actually scratched it on that side from putting it on and off to test it so many times. So always lay down tape over freshly painted things. Of course, it literally just started raining. And those Canards, they kind of have fresh paint. They're good enough for me to manhandle and put them on and show you guys, but I don't know if I want to get them wet yet. But okay, rain aside, dude, how good do these things look? I'm so stoked. I'm like beyond happy. Because when we did this thing, I was kind of telling myself like, hey, you might have to get used to the look of this thing without the Canards. But like that to me was something I always really loved about the kit, was the Canards. I feel like something about them, they're super aggressive, but they suit the car so well. And then when they weren't gonna fit, I was kind of bummed out, but they look so good. Like look at these things, dude. I love the design of them, how flowy they are. This turned out unreal. This used to look like just raw fiberglass and it was disgusting. So I'm really happy with how that Bondo turned out right there. And like even where I wasn't sure if it was gonna look nice, it looks so good. And honestly, the splitter rods look dope too. They did a good job. They pushed the splitter down like it needed to. Carbon fiber kind of blends right into everything else, which is really, really nice. So hopefully the BRZ body kit shows up soon. That way I can not have nothing holding the splitter on. This is what I talk about when I say stay committed. You can look at things, you can buy things, they're not always gonna fit, they're not always gonna work. You just gotta make them work. Like just stay committed to the fact that you couldn't afford the bigger one and make this one work. And like, look how sexy this thing looks now that we stayed committed to making it work. Anyways, I'm gonna go edit this video so I can come back out here and clean this garage because it became a disaster. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys are stoked on these Canards because clearly I am. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.